Welcome to Baz Travels. After driving 14,826 kilometers through 24 states and Washington DC, I've seen rocket launches to the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. I've explored Route 66, ghost towns, deserts, snow, and beaches on both coasts. From Vegas casinos to Alcatraz, the White House to Hollywood. Join me for a journey of the ordinary and the extraordinary.
Loading destination. Simulation starting in 3, 2, 1. To look around, move your phone or tablet. Click and drag if on a computer or move your head if using a VR headset. Please like and subscribe.
This location works because multiple systems operate in the same space at the same time, and each one moves differently depending on what is happening around it. You have a fixed vertical structure, moving road traffic, and an active river all interacting within a very tight section of the city. The NBC Tower stands out immediately because it does not follow the glass-heavy style seen across much of downtown Chicago. Completed in 1989 and rising 627 feet, the building uses limestone vertical lines and recessed windows to create a design influenced by classic Art Deco towers. That design is deliberate because it references 30 Rockefeller Plaza in New York, which is NBC's main headquarters. The building was designed by Adrian Smith of Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, and it was built specifically to house NBC's Chicago operations. That function is still active today, with WMAQ-TV and Telemundo WSNS-TV operating from inside the tower. The building includes studios, broadcast facilities, and transmission links connected to other parts of the city. Directly in front of the tower, the William P. Fahey Bridge carries Columbus Drive across the Chicago River, and this is where movement becomes more complex. The bridge opened in 1982 and is the newest river crossing in this section of Chicago. It uses a box-girder design rather than the traditional trusses, which gives it a different structural profile compared to other older bridges. The pivot mechanism is set back from the river, allowing pedestrians to move underneath at river level. The bridge operates as a bascule system, where each side lifts to allow boats to pass through, and each leaf weighs about 3,400 tons. Despite that weight, the system is balanced so it can open and close efficiently. With tens of thousands of vehicles crossing daily, each bridge lift temporarily stops road traffic while river traffic takes priority. This creates a controlled interruption where one system pauses while another moves. The bridge also had early mechanical issues after opening, which required repairs before it could operate reliably. It was later reopened and has continued to function as part of the city's bridge network. It was named after William P. Fahey, a Chicago police officer killed in the line of duty, which adds a human connection to the structure. That naming ties the bridge to the city beyond its engineering role. Below the roadway, the Chicago River continues as a transport corridor, while the River Walk provides a pedestrian layout running directly beneath the bridge. This creates a stacked system where movement happens at multiple levels. What makes this location unique is how these layers operate together without interfering with each other. The building remains fixed, the bridge moves when required, and the river continues to flow underneath.
Simulation terminated. Please comment, like and subscribe.